Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ. Angels.
Mama Nkosebru Agwaptal Maria.
O wetụrụ ime site n'ike nke mmụọ nsọ.
Ekene Maria Ijiptel na Grace Osebru Ananyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu. Webara ebe ndị nje arịrịọ. Kịta na amalị
Nyeju odibo nwanyị Nkosebru ụwa.
Korere m ka isi kwu.
Ekene Maria Ijiptel na Gracia Osebru Ananyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu. Webara ebe ndị nje arịrịọ. Kịta na amalị ọnwa anyị. Amen.
Okwu emela
Like, subscribe, and share, right?
Ekene Maria Ijiptel na Gracia Osebru Ananyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu. Webara ebe ndị nje arịrịọ. Kịta na amalị ọnwa anyị. Amen.
Dabara anyị ayọ ọnne nke Chukwu dị asọ.
Anyị wetụrụ ịnata nkwa nke Kristi.
Ayịyọ anyị na-arịọ gị o Chukwu ka erinye Kraịst anyị n'ime obi anyị ka anyị bụ ndị nje butere ozi ọma wee mara iwere site n'afọ ya na obe ya wee bata n'otuto na mbilite n'ọnwụ ya site na Kristi dị nwere anyị.
Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'izu na metụta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'izu na kịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'izu na kịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Ka mkpụrụ obi ndị niile kwere gara aga
site n'ekpere nke Chukwu ka ha zuru ike na ndokwa.
ka mkpụrụ obi fa zuru ike na ndokwa.
Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ.
Nọnyekwara mmụọ gị.
Ka Chineke dị ike niile gọzie ụnụ. Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Amen.
Ekpere abịalụ gị site na nkwado ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited Nnobi. Ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Nwosu Mmaduka Close, Umuru Nnobi, 081-4982-8254.
Listen to news updates on Ebonadi 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonadi FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen. slr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 date today, Tuesday, the 8th day of August 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Epanjuku Ekizie is my name. The headlines. Employer, mother, search for 15-year-old Anambra house help missing in Lagos. Abia earmarks 160 buildings for demolition. Delta Assembly staff jailed for 14.5 million naira salary fraud. Otis attempt to take over Abia Union of Road Transport Workers Leadership illegal. NLC. Gunmen burn Imo monarch's house, killed in cold blood in Imo. US increases pressure in Niger as Russia moves into the region. Now, details. Employer, mother, search for 15-year-old Anambra house help missing in Lagos. The employer and family members of a 15-year-old girl, Chidinma Nwaneka, are currently in search of her after she went missing in May 2023. Chidinma, who hails from Umuike village, Aglo, in Anambra State, was said to be a house help in the residence of a Lagos-based businesswoman, Mrs. Chinelo Orano, who lives in the Lekki area of Lagos. Orano, who spoke to journalists in Oka on Monday, said she dropped Chidinma off at her school named Bara Secondary School in Jakande, Etiosa, local government area, Lekki, Lagos State, in early May. Until date, the girl has not been found nor returned home. Orano, who hails from Amudu village, Oka, Anambra State, said a case of a missing person has been reported at Bara Police Division, Jakande First Gate, Etiosa local government area of Lagos State. She lamented that since she reported the case in May, the police have yet to ascertain the missing girl's whereabouts, noting that the family members are devastated by the disappearance. Hence, her decision to resort to public intervention in searching for the missing girl. When contacted, the IPO at Obara Police Division Lekki, who gave her name as Alhaja Alaka, said the case of a missing person was actually reported to the police by Mrs. Orano, and that the case has since May 2023 been forwarded to the Lagos State Police Command to further actions. Alaka said our preliminary police investigation shows that the girl, Chidema Mary Nwaneka, is abducted by a yet to be identified brother, and we have sent a letter to the command for necessary actions. All parties should maintain the status quo. Abia earmarks 106. Abia state government has embarked on sensitization of communities and property owners to prepare them to make the necessary sacrifices for the development of Umuahia, the capital city, as part of his development agenda. Governor Alex Oti had announced the expansion of the main entry road leading into Umuahia from the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. He said Osa Road, which is presently a dualized entry from Abia Tower Junction of the expressway into Umuahia, would be expanded to 6 lanes. To make this possible, over 160 properties have been penciled down for demolition, while some ancestral lands would also go into the road expansion project. The State Commissioner for Lands and Housing, Mr. Chaka Chukwumerije, is the head of a public enlightenment and sensitization team reaching out to the communities and property owners that would be affected by the road project. Speaking at a public enlightenment forum at Eziama na Mbaja, Okpu Isumbu, Uzi na Apizu, and Isumbu autonomous communities, the commissioner said that his ministry had already done the enumeration and evaluation of buildings in conjunction with external valuers. He assured them that government would pay compensation within the ambit of the law, adding that the Otis administration was sensitive and responsive. Hence, the need to carry out sensitization visits before commencing demolition of properties. The traditional rulers and community leaders of the affected communities who spoke at the event accepted government's initiative to give Umuahia the befitting status of a state capital. Delta Assembly staff jailed for 14.5 million naira salary fraud. A staff of the Delta State House of Assembly, John Adejeke Apugan, has been sentenced to 2 years imprisonment over 14.5 million naira salary fraud. Apone was charged by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, before the Delta State High Court, Asaba. ICPC had in a one-count charge before Justice Onome Marshall Umokoro accused the convict of receiving from the State Assembly and Uheli South Council to ICPC S. Chibuzo had told the court that the convict fraudulently received 14,525,550 naira as double salary over a period of 4 years from the State Assembly and the local council. He committed the offense while working as a civil servant in the state and a supervisory councillor with Uheli South Council. Simultaneously, in his defense, Apogden argued that he was unaware that it is a crime to have 2 government jobs. Justice Machal Umokoro, in his ruling, sentenced him to 2 years imprisonment. He was also given an option of fine of 500,000 naira. The judge further ruled that the convict continues to make monthly refunds to the House of Assembly Service Commission. Otis attempt to take over Abia National Union of Road Transport Workers leadership illegal. NLC. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has condemned the Governor-elect Otis government's interference with the State Council of the National Union of Road Transport Workers leadership structure. NLC President Joe Ajero made the condemnation in a letter Sunday addressed to Mr. Oti. Mr. Ajero said NLC was alarmed by a letter written to the National Union of Road Transport Workers, its affiliate, on June 20th by the Secretary to the State Government, Kenneth Kallo. He noted that in the letter, the National Union of Road Transport Worker President was advised by the Abia government to consider some individuals for privileged positions in the Road Union's State Council. The NLC president claimed that Mr. Oti's government listed for positions included Chukwuma Anuazodo as chairman, Chika Otto as deputy chairman, Tochi Ephraim as treasurer, and Azubike Victor as financial secretary, Anyanwu Obarako as organizing secretary, Ubuago Okadike member, Eze Okulei, trustee, Alozie Onuaha member, Wankudu Onyedikachi member, and Chimuche Okorie member. Our first reaction to the letter when it was reported to us by the union was that it was a phony. We could not imagine that a government elected under the banner of Labour Party could have written such a letter, Mr. Ajero said. The NLC chief pointed out that Mr. Otis' attempt to take over the leadership of the Abia National Union of Road Transport Workers was rash, ill-informed, and illegal. We look forward to your immediate response, Mr. Ajero said. Gunmen burn Imo monarch's house. Unidentified gunmen have attacked and set ablaze the house of a traditional ruler of Okuru, also Ihito Okwa, in Osun Council area of Imo State, Eze-elect Eze Ezekiel I. Nwokedi. It was gathered that the attack took place last Saturday night in Osun Ihite Okwa in Imo. Just last month, a similar tragedy where gunmen killed the traditional ruler of a community called Nguru, Nweke, in Abo Mbise area council in Imo State, Eze Nnamdi Durujiako Milioma at his palace. Confirming the incident, Eze Nwokedi lamented that his personal belongings were completely razed in the attack by the gunmen. However, narrating the story of the attack, he said that the hoodlums looted my house, scattered away personal belongings worth of millions naira, and set my home ablaze. All I lost from their attack is approximately worth over 85 million naira as estimated. I'm calling on the government to come for assistance. You will recall that Odemma also initiative has been fighting to quench the obvious incessant killing of innocent people, burning down of people's houses, and looting of government public assets by the hoodlums in the area for the past 2 years and 9 months. At the time of filing this report, the Imo State Police Public Relations Officer, PPRO, Henry Okoye, was yet to respond to the inquiries. Now we move over to the foreign scene. U.S. increases pressure in Niger as Russia moves into the region. When Niger was rattled by a coup in the late July, it was just the latest West African nation to be challenged by mutinous militaries bent on unseating the existing government. What some have called a dominant chain of armed takeovers in a sensitive part of the world where Russia loyalists, mercenaries are in ascendance. U.S. officials say is different. Niger's president, Mohamed Bazoum, who is now being held captive by his former security detail, is a rare democratically elected leader who was inaugurated in the country's first peaceful transfer of power. His nation is the recipient of $2 billion in U.S. and other Western aid annually, and more than 1,000 U.S. troops are stationed in Niger, where they train the Nigerian military to battle jihadist terrorist groups active in the area. U.S. officials do not think ECOWAS will use military force in the near future, nor will they commit to join in, but they have warned that Niger risks collapse as a nation if the attempted coup isn't halted. And Russia's notorious military force, the Wagner Group, is posed to step into the void. Let me be very, very clear about this, said U.S. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken, who visited Niger in March and has been in regular telephone contact with Bazoum since the July 26 coup. Our security partnership with Niger, which is significant, hundreds of millions of dollars, depends on the continuation of the democratic governance and constitutional order that has been disrupted. That support is in clear jeopardy. Though Niger had until now remained a steadfast ally of Washington and the West, it has grown increasingly isolated, a lone island in a sea of countries ruled by military purchase, backed by the Wagner Group, a vicious militia with ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin and led by a Russian oligarchy. Goes in. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Employer: mother search for 15-year-old Anambra house help missing in Lagos. Abia earmarks 160 buildings for demolition. Delta Assembly staff jailed for 14.5 million naira salary fraud. Otis attempt to take over Abia National Union of Road Transport Workers Leadership illegal NLC. Gunmen burn Imo Monarch's house. US increases pressure in Niger as Russia moves into the region. You just listened to news update on Ebona at the 103.5 FM news, produced and read by Martin Ifanshuku Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebona 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM. How important is your comfort? Talk about hospitality.
Welcome to Atlanta where the play is played.
Welcome to Supreme Hospitality. As Oxbridge Hotel and Suite Limited is now open and your comfort is our target because it is important. We offer you affordable accommodation, complimentary morning buffet, free Wi-Fi, 24/7 power supply, conference hall for any type of event, parking lot, laundry, bush bar, pool bar, and swimming pool. Oxbridge Hotel and Suite Limited is located at plot 203, 204 Ogidi Boys Road, Uruwere, Ogidi, Anambra State, or you call 080-3330-3782.
To Atlanta where the play is played like every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride.
Let's go!
It's the morning drive on 103.5 Ebona DFM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio.
From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Getting your morning inspired, be informed, let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Ifanshuku, aka Meta.
And Christy, aka Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
on the morning drive.
103.5 Ebona DFM.
All day, every day. Who's bad? Hit it! Ebona 103.5 FM.
You guys like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
DJ,